what every
Fancy a wee swim, do you?
Assassin's Creed 4 after you've been playing it for about 20 hours straight. What is up, guys? Playing Assassin's Creed on PlayStation 4.
Get in there, you
I did play Assassin's Creed 4 right when it came out. This is on PlayStation 3, I think. Playing it on the PlayStation 3 because I figured the load times are going to be ridiculous, just like all games are, and I was hoping when it came out for the new consoles
Edward.
that it would be a lot better, and it
Private
seems like it
theory.
is.
Is
At
it
least
dangerous?
the graphics, they're a
Wouldn't
lot
pay so nice if it
more
weren't.
clear.
Why not
And,
sail with the King's Navy? Earn a
They
proper
look pretty
wage,
nice.
sail
The
under
load
gentlemen.
times
Sword
aren't
of the
very
Navy's
long
gentlemen.
either in between.
For every shilling
in
I'd earn, the
between
captain
loading
gets
screens.
600. That's no way to
So-
earn a fortune.
We don't need a fortune.
Yeah, so I decided to play Assassin's Creed 4.
It's not about
This
need,
is
Caroline.
the first part of the
I
game.
want food that don't make
Now,
me sick.
I am going to
I want
say one
walls
thing.
that hold
I
back
am
the
brand
wind.
new to the
I want a
Assassin's
decent
Creed,
life.
series. And
How long would you be gone with these privateers?
I already have about I think I'm like 40%
A year, I
complete with the
reckon.
game already.
Two at
So
most.
I've really enjoyed it so far. I think I probably got like 40 hours of gameplay though. It's
All right.
it's crazy.
more
You
than
can play
2.
this game and
Promise
literally
me.
you don't even know it. But on the timer when you're recording your gameplay, you'll just look over and see that there's like 2.5 hours of recorded gameplay, and you're like, wow, have I really been playing for 2.5 hours? And then, surely enough, 10 hours later, it's like 2:30 in the morning, and you're like, alright, I gotta quit. I've played too much today. But, yeah, so this right here, this is the little intro, just like basically all games have. They give you a nice little intro. They let you do everything. I went ahead and I skipped the ship part where you learn the controls and stuff, and now it's teaching you, letting you know how to swim. And this is gonna be the little area where you learn how to sneak, assassinate, kill people. And yeah, so this is on the PlayStation 4, and one thing I can tell you what I'm not liking. Now, obviously, Xbox and PlayStation, they're always trying to do something different to be to one up each other. Now, if you didn't know this, typically most Xbox games, they'll have the aim and shoot on the lower triggers.
Was it good for you as well?
The L2
Havana.
and the R2. And
I
then
must
used
get to Havana.
on PlayStation, just about
Well, I'll just build
always
us
on
another ship, will I?
default,
I
the
can
shoot
pay
would be L1
Isn't that
and
the sound
R1,
you
which would be the
pirates
top
like
triggers.
best? 100.
And but for PlayStation 4, it looks like they have switched to the bottom. Now, it wasn't too bad as far as on like Call of Duty or something, because they made a ton of
Keep talking.
different controls to where you could switch it up to where you could go back to the old PlayStation 3 style.
You don't have that
But
gold on
this
you now, do
game,
you?
I looked around real quick. I couldn't find anything. So, looks like, well, I did have to get used to it. Looks like you have to use the bottom triggers, which, it's not too bad when you do it all the time, but when you have played first-person shooters for like the last 3 years and you used L1 and R1, and then it switches up to a game where you have to use L2
Come on,
and
mate.
R2,
We're off
it
to a bad
gets,
start.
it's actually like you actually have to think about pressing those triggers, like whereas usually it just comes natural. But like for me, it's like, man, I have to actually think about what buttons to push when I was playing this game, at least for like the first 20 hours. I'm pretty used to it now, but yeah, so I'm really surprised they didn't do something.
It's 100 leagues or more to
triggers,
Havana.
but,
Will you walk that distance?
whatever, it is what it is. So, yeah, this is me being a noob right now. I really have no idea what I'm doing. I did skip out most of the part. I had about 10 minutes here where I was just hopping back and forth, and I had no idea what I was doing. I just, like, right there, just, jump, try and climb up some walls, but, you know, just to see what it was all about. Now, another thing I am going to tell you guys, this was a little disappointing, but, you know, this game is, you know, developed by, Ubisoft, which, so is Far Cry 3. I had played Far Cry 3 before, and, one thing, like, I was like, oh, I really like this game, and then everyone's like, oh, well, you ought to play Assassin's Creed. It's also, it's a better game than Far Cry 3, or Far Cry, and I was like, okay. So I played Far Cry 3, and now I'm playing Assassin's Creed 4, and I realized, like, the game, like, they're basically, like, 90% the exact same game. The features in the game and stuff is, like, crazy similar, to where, like, you have these, you know, you got the Eagle Towers in Assassin's Creed, where you can synchronize yourself with the map, and then it shows the map. You know, and it's the same deal in Far Cry, where you climb to the top of the towers and you synchronize, and it unlocks the map. So I was kind of disappointed that everyone told me how great Assassin's Creed was, and I thought it was going to be like a, you know, a innovative game, you know, or new ideas, originality and stuff, and then I realized, wow, so they basically just copy and pasted one game to the other. I don't know which one. I didn't really do any research or anything, but I don't know which one copied who, but basically you're playing the exact same game no matter which series you're playing. So, and you know, same with the loot and how basically even how you do the attacks. Like there are certain red areas to where the enemies are going to target you, and they're not going to target you, and you can distract enemies and kill them. And even all the way up to the you know, the animals and stuff. You shoot and kill animals and skin them. So yeah, that was a little disappointing when I realized that both of these games were like exactly the same. But with that being said, this game is by far better than Far Cry 3 was. Now, Far Cry 3, it was on PlayStation 3, and I mean, I really liked the game, but what killed me was, which is totally not Far Cry 3's fault, but I made it through about 60% of the game, and then my PlayStation 3 got hit by lightning, and so I had to buy another PlayStation 3, and then of course I looked on a ton of you know, a ton of sites and stuff on how to switch out the like hard drive, and I never could really get a complete answer on whether I could depending on what version of PlayStation 3 I had, whether it was the Slim or the Super Slim, whether I could do it or not, and people would say if you didn't do something right. I mean, it looked really easy, but I was like, you know what, why even take a
Senor
chance?
Duncan Walpole,
So, I
I
never
accept
actually
your
got
most
to
generous
Far
offer
Cry
and await
3.
your arrival with eagerness.
But,
If you truly
yeah, so
possess
that
the
was a
information we
disappointment.
desire,
Back to this
we have the
game.
means to reward
So-
you handsomely. Though I will not know your
I know
face
I'm
by
just
sight,
rambling on
I
and on
believe
and
I
on,
can
but that's what I
recognize
like
the
to do.
costume made infamous by your secret
And,
order.
yeah, so I'll probably
Therefore,
be doing,
come to Havana in haste,
you know,
and
this
trust
is the
that you
first,
shall be welcomed as a brother.
this is the first part of the game.
Su más
I won't
humilde
be
servidor,
rambling on
el
through
gobernador
other parts. I
Laureano
just, you know, wanted
Torres
to get some
Ayala.
stuff down, give you guys a little review. If you guys haven't played this game yet,
Mr. Walpole,
I would have to say you're actually missing out on a really good game. As far as a lot of the new games that have come out for the new consoles, the next gen consoles, there's really not a ton of outstanding games that's coming out. it really looks like it's not going to be till, you know, if the games didn't come out on release day or something, or like this game where it came out for the old versions and then came out for the new versions, it didn't really seem like there's going to be too many games that are just going to be absolutely must-have games until probably, you know, sometime mid to later next year. That's one thing. That's another thing I was kind of disappointed in. It seems like I figured when the new consoles, the PS4 and Xbox One came out, I figured they were really going to hit hard on new games, but it just seems like I don't know. It seems like maybe they didn't want to rush anything, so they're taking their time. Which, I mean, that's understandable, but man, when you get a new console, you definitely want to get the games that really max out the consoles, what it can do. But this game, now I have looked at old version videos of this game, and just by looking at the older versions and this version, you can tell that the graphics, they're a lot cleaner. I'm not gonna say that the graphics are better, but as far as, you know, detail, how realistic they look, but they definitely look cleaner, more vibrant. And yeah, I can tell you, this game must have been, they must have actually done some good on this game, because my PVR was recording in this game just fine, but right when I started, it was like giving my TV all kinds of trouble. It looks like I'm gonna have to upgrade my TV, because it was doing like the whole, basically the first, I don't know what it was, the first like 10 hours of this game, like even like right now, I know you can't see it on the PVR or on the recorded gameplay, because that comes from the PVR and then it goes to the TV. But what I was seeing on my TV, like the whole time I was playing this game, was like the game was like cut up, and like there'd be like a line running through the middle of my screen. Sometimes if I turned from left to right, it would be in the middle, like running horizontal. But then if I looked up and down, there would be a line that went from the bottom of the screen horizontally, and then it like fed upwards to the top of the screen, and it was making it really hard to play the game. And I was like, man, I hope that's not how this whole game's going to be, because if it would have stayed like that, I wouldn't even been able to play this game, because it was like giving me a headache just looking at. But after about like, I don't know, 5-10 hours, I'm not sure when it stopped, but it stopped at some point and the game started running really smooth, and then after that, that's when I really started loving this game. So yeah, so I am Assassin's Creed noob, and as you can tell, I just got seen by that guy and I was just walking, and you know, I didn't know how far you could be away from people, and then I just got spotted in the bushes. So I totally failed, but for some reason, I don't know, I've never gotten, like, whenever people spot me now, I don't know if it's just because this was the walkthrough, but whenever people spot me now, like, I can't just one-shot them with some swords and they die. You have to counter their attack and then break their defense and then kill them. And then when you got 3 guys gangbanging you at the same time, it's crazy.
Take my sugar.
It's crazy.
Take anything you like.
But, you know, if you just smash the buttons, you get the kill. So, yep. So this looks about like the end of the actual
By God's grace,
gameplay. Now, I didn't know if this was
profusion
how
of thanks.
the game was, but I thought this, like, after this section
my
right
vessel,
here,
yes.
the game takes a turn
Here lies its poor captain.
to where
And
you're
I have no art for sailing.
I can
you're
pilot it
not
myself,
really
not mine.
living this life. Like,
You don't mean to abscond with my ship, do you?
you just come out of you're like playing a
Duncan.
video game in a video game.
What's your name, friend?
Steed Bonnet.
I was
Well, Mr. Bonnet.
I didn't know
this stay
what was
twixt us.
going on.
But But I'm on a
when the
secret
woman
errand for His
started
Majesty
talking
the
to me,
King, God save him,
and
and I
she's
must
like,
get to Havana
"Oh,
with
good
speed."
job. How are you
That is
doing?"
a relief, sir.
And I'm
Havana
like,
is also
"What?
my destination. Our
What
ways
just
lie together.
happened?"
Natural allies, then.
This is like,
You put me at ease,
I
sir.
thought this was
I
like
think
a
I took you
whole
for a
lie.
pirate when you first
Like-
appeared.
Did you?
Yes.
So what
You
you're trying to
have,
say is I really
uncommon
didn't
way
play
of
that?
handling yourself.
Is that what you're
Quick
trying to
and
say?
easy, if I may say.
Basically,
Gave
that's
me quite a fright.
you did not do any of that, sir. You're just reliving
considered.
memories.
I think it's turned out to be
So-
a rather fortuitous day, hasn't it?
Oh, it is what it is. But this game's a ton of fun. I usually don't
Lacking
I'm
a
gonna be honest with
rowboat,
you,
I'm
I
afraid we'll
usually
have to
don't
swim to
play
my ship.
Hardly the
too many
worst thing to
games
happen.
and just completely praise them. I'm typically the type of person that
This is more like it.
if you make a good video game and it has flaws in it, I'm only going to point out the flaws. I'm not going to really tell you what you've done great about this game. I'm not like them people that all they do is they tell you how good Call of Duty Ghost is, dude. Oh, it's the best Call of Duty ever, bro. I mean, there's just never been a better game than Call of Duty, and that's why you should play it. I mean, like, come on, seriously. Like, are YouTubers trying to get paid from the developers of video games? Like, okay, it's rant time. We're going to rant time. We're just going to initiate it right now. Rant time initiated. Alright. If you make over $1 billion on one video game and there's anything wrong with it, something is completely ridiculous in this world. Alright, I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna call it out. About every Call of Duty now, since the last 3 or 4 years, which, you know, I give Call of Duty hype, but that's the game I play the most, but I typically do the least gameplay on it, because the game kind of is garbage, but
Welcome
it's like,
aboard, Duncan.
I'm one of those people that
She's a
because so
modest
many
schooner,
people
but
play
well
it,
suited
then
to
I
my
play it
purpose,
as well.
trafficking cargo from
But
my
the game
plantation
is
and such.
garbage.
She'll do fine.
There's huge
There's a strong
flaws
wind
in
now.
it that has
Let's
always
strike
been
the
in
foe,
the
shall
game
we?
that never gets fixed, and everyone just tries to look over it, or the developers try to mask anything. Okay,
there's a
if
tug
you
of the wind
sell,
in my
I don't
hair.
even know how
I
many
find a
units
bracing
they sold
comfort
on
in the
Call of
feel
Duty
and smell
Ghost,
of the
but I
ocean.
remember back on
The
like
raw
Black Ops
stink
2,
of
they were selling
possibility.
like 20 million units or something.
That's a top way of
Well,
seeing
20
it, mate.
million units at $60 a piece. I mean, you can do the math. I mean, that's a ridiculous
We've
amount
really
of
opened
money.
it up now, haven't
You
we?
shouldn't have flaws in a game. And for anyone that tries to support any type of developer or publisher,
Those sailors
whatever
were
you
quite
want
animated
to
by
call
the
any
idea
of
of
those
pirates roaming
companies,
these waters.
whether it's,
Is it a
you know,
real
the
danger,
developer
do you
like
suppose?
Infinity Ward or
A
Treyarch,
possibility.
or the publisher
But most
like
pirates
Activision,
stalk the
if
windward
you're trying
passage
to
between
back
Cuba
them
and
on
Hispaniola.
any reason on why their game
Oh, I
doesn't
see.
run
Yes.
as good as what
That is a
what
busting
people
straight.
think it should, like they're like, you might have
But I
your
shouldn't worry about
priorities
being
mixed up.
waylaid
You
by
might not
pirates,
know
truth
how the
be
real
told.
world
My ship is
should
full,
work.
and I have nothing of immense value.
I mean,
Sugarcane,
it's
you,
just to
molasses,
me,
rum,
like,
that sort
you
of thing.
have these small companies that make great
not a
video
pirate
games
living
that
who turns
never
back
even
on a
get
keg of
heard
rum.
of, that
Oh,
make
yes. Yes, I
a
suppose that's true.
100th of what a Call of Duty game makes, and their game will run flawless. You get a multi-$100 million video game, and it runs crappy. There's no excuse other than they didn't even try to do anything. And it's not just Call of Duty. I'm gonna throw Grand Theft Auto out there too. I know everyone loves Grand Theft Auto. It sold what, like $800 million worth or something within the first day. Crazy, insane amount of numbers. The online didn't even work for 2 weeks. Don't give me no crap about, oh, well, they didn't expect that many people to buy it. They didn't, the servers were overloaded. Then get your crap fixed. There's no reason for it not to work that good when you make that much money. There is no excuse. If you think $800 million isn't enough money to get online to work,
You're a natural
then
sailor, Duncan.
you're a complete retard.
I did a
and you
decent
should
trick
probably
at the
just
helm
end your
some
life
time
now.
ago.
Alright,
2
that's
years
end of
before the
rant.
mast as a
End of rant.
privateer.
We'll come back with some
Dash
rants
my
later,
buttons.
because I got a
Your
ton
life
of them.
seems a grand
And
one,
I
if
know
I may
people
say.
ain't. I know
So
people
full of
really don't
adventure.
like the rant stuff.
How
They don't
marvelous.
like the
I've seen
negativity.
my share of
But,
strangeness,
you know, I call it like I see it. And if you don't like it, it's probably because you're a fanboy and you just can't handle the truth. Nah, I'm just playing with you guys. I just like to have fun. Well, that is the end of the first part. I skipped the whole other part.
Fantastic work.
Whatevs.
Very promising.